Welcome to the Money Hour with host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey. Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, NMLS 134871. The views expressed by the speakers on the following program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited. Now, in the studio, local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
Welcome to the Money Hour at 11:50 a.m. KKNW, the Friday, August 28th virtual show. Because of COVID, our show is temporary virtually. You can listen to us on podcast, also on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
Bringing in expert advice, inside knowledge on today's events and how it can affect your money. If you're hearing our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show today. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And our lineup for today's show, we are going to be having a panel conversation with our two guests. We have Bruce Hudson of Hudson's Portrait Design and Dipti Shamara of IY Technology LLC. Also, we'll be having a conversation with Bruce on the importance of your first impression, followed by our conversation with Dipti of IY Technology LLC, how to make your website valuable. Great information and great guests in studio. For more information on any topics discussed, please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And we'll start at the show, just as we do each week, with a little bit of money chat.
Money.
Excited to hear what you have to share today, Keelan.
Well, there's a couple shows I've talked about expansion in Bellevue and Facebook and all this building, and this was before COVID, all this expansion in Bellevue. And last week I covered tech companies and the 20% that they cover in the S&P 500. And so I was reading a story in the Seattle Times, and I was shocked to see, and not really shocked to be frank, to see that REI is selling their never used Bellevue headquarters. So that whole expansion thing, COVID has really been having an impact on things. And so this week, kind of to be the devil's advocate of last week, I'm going to talk a little bit about contraction. And I was a little shocked to see that REI is a big company, but I dug into it a little bit, and they're moving 1,200 headquarter employees. They're spreading them out all over like Seattle areas. There's 160 retail stores that they. Am I still here? I'm sorry. My bad.
You're here.
I got a call at the worst time ever when I'm sitting here doing Money Hour, and all of a sudden I didn't know if I hung up on the wrong one because I was getting beat and it was going to mute me every 3 words. So anyways, continuing on.
Love the live feed.
Yeah, it all happens live. We got no choice. So, and then to expand that, Nordstrom just reported on Tuesday a larger than expected loss of 53% in drop in its fiscal second quarter. So that equates to $255 million. We're talking a lot of money here, which got me a little interested on what else has happened with big businesses during COVID, during this pandemic. And I found this large list of businesses that have gone bankrupt. And some of them are kind of I don't know, I've used them, I've been there, and they hold a place in my heart. So it's kind of sad to see, but I promise I won't leave on all doom and gloom here. But in May, J. Crew, which is a men's store, I've shopped there. I'm sure many people have. Gold's Gym, Neiman Marcus, JCPenney's, Hertz. We've all rented a car at Hertz. I couldn't believe that one. That company is gigantic. Tuesday mornings, and then in June, GNC, the supplement store, has closed. 24-Hour Fitness, I've had multiple memberships there. That was a bit shocking. Chuck E. Cheese, celebrating birthdays as kids there. Lucky Brand, that's the jeans with the little leprechaun on them. Shamrock, excuse me. And Brooks Brothers, Sur La Table, Ann Taylor, California Pizza Kitchen. I was shocked about that one. And even in August, Men's Warehouse, Virgin Atlantic, Lord and Taylor. So these are big, huge brands that unfortunately filed bankruptcy. Doesn't mean they're completely dead, but it does mean they had to liquidate to a degree. Some of them I'm sure we'll never see again as a brand. So the reality of it, though, a lot of these businesses had issues beforehand. It wasn't like COVID came through and this giant business all of a sudden just disappeared. There was issues before COVID, and they were struggling a little bit. I mean, and remember Blockbuster when we were kids? We used to go into Blockbuster. I remember my Fridays and Saturdays, we'd go into Blockbuster, and I was loving to get this brand new DVD and maybe a video game, and that's what we do on a Friday night. Well, it just became obsolete. And I feel like COVID's doing the same thing with technology nowadays. I think it's really pushed this whole thing and expedited the whole process of people relying on technology. And I think, some of the things that we look into the past are going to disappear. They already have disappeared a lot faster. And we talked about this with a lot of the business owners that we've had on the show. And the businesses looking forward are going nuts. Like anything technology related is going crazy, as I covered last week. But we need to be optimistic because even these small businesses are looking up to technology. And I think just like the Phoenix from the ashes, things are going to change just like they did with Blockbuster, and then something, bigger and better is going to come out. And our world evolves with business and moves forward. So I don't think it's all sad and doom and gloom, but it just goes to show you that we are in a truly evolving, business environment, and things are pushing ahead towards technology faster than they ever have before.
Yes, they are. And I heard Sur La Table on that list. And, I do a girls' night out every month, not now, obviously. And we do Sur La Table cooking classes probably twice a year. So, yeah, very, very sad to hear that. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's comment at the virtual Jackson Hole Symposium, he said that the Fed is willing to allow inflation to run harder than normal to support the labor market and economy. He explained a policy of average inflation targeting, which means that they will allow inflation to run moderately above the 2% goal for some time, following periods in the run below the objective. The Fed was very ambiguous because they did not mention the time frame to calculate the average inflation of 2%. If it were done today, the core PCE rate is at 0.9% to reach 2%. They would have to let inflation run at 3.1% for the time being. Now, first off, we doubt that the PCE would be able to reach that level, as they have not been able to get even close to the 2% forever. Additionally, this would hurt consumers and would not be a good thing. So he also said that the Fed would be less inclined to hike rates when unemployment falls so low as inflation does not creep up as well. It was previously thought that inflation would have rise as employment rises. However, they believe that they can do this without the inflation rise. And the Fed saying that they would keep rates low and not hike it. Unemployment was rising is interesting and would increase the income gap because 88% of stocks are owned by 10% of investors. And if the rates kept low, there's no competition for stocks and they would benefit. This is why stocks are rallying. Now, the Fed's new position is giving them cover and the green light to do whatever they want. Now, initial job claims for last week was released, showing 1 million individuals filed for unemployment benefits for the first time. This was 98,000 less than last week, while continuing claims of those continuing to receive benefits also improved by 223,000 to 14.5 million. Now, both claims are continuing to remain around the same levels without much improvement. Now, there are also PUA, or pandemic unemployment assistance claims, that are not captured in the headlines. Those claims, which are separate and in addition to the headline claims, total about 608 total 608,000 last week. Continuing PUA claims improved by 252,000 to 11 million. Now, total people receiving some type of benefit is around 28 million, which would bring the real-time estimate of the unemployment rate north of 16.5%. Now, pending home sales, which measures signed contracts on existing homes in July, were up 15.9%, and year-over-year sales are up 15.5% after being up 6.3% in the previous report. If 20% more homes were on the market, we should have 20% more sales because demand is so high. Additionally, for every 10 listings, there were 9 contracts. Now, housing continues to be the bright spot in the economy. The Case-Shiller Home Index, which is considered the gold standard for appreciation, showed nationally there was 4.3% annual gain in June, which was unchanged from the gain that we saw in May. The 20-city index rose 3.5% year over year, down from 3.6% in the previous report. However, these are still very strong appreciation figures. Regionally, price gains in Phoenix, Seattle, and Tampa continue to be the strongest in the nation. Phoenix posted a 9% year-over-year price increase, followed by Seattle, which reported a 6.5% increase, and Tampa with a 5.9% increase. Price gains were smallest in Chicago, New York, and San Francisco. Now, new home sales, which measures the signed contracts of new homes, were up 14% in July, which was much stronger than the small gain expected. Sales are now 36% year over year. The median new home price increased 7.2% year over year to $330,600, but this is not appreciation. It means that the half of the homes sold above and below that figure, meaning that the higher priced homes sold. So don't let the media fool you that they're making you believe that people are getting priced out of the market because the prices are going up too quick. Affordability is still good due to the low interest rates, and homes are appreciating at a very great level. Now, the FHFA has been getting a lot of backlash from the 50 basis point fee that they are installing on refinances. This is the adverse market fee. Initially was going to be instated on refinances sold to Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac after September 1st. However, FHFA announced that it's going to postpone the 0.5% refinance fee until December 1st. Now, when the fee does take effect, it will be imposed on both cash-out refinances and no cash-out refinances. Any loans with balances of less than $125,000 will be exempt from the fee. It seems that everyone is celebrating this great news on this delay. However, is it really reason to celebrate? Lenders have already adjusted the pricing in anticipation of this fee coming up, and most likely we're not going to see the adjustments back down since it's just coming up around December. And that is your money chat. Coming up next on the Money Hour, panel conversation with Bruce Hudson of Hudson Portrait Design and Dipti Sharma of IY Technology LLC right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW.
Is there someone in your life that you've been wanting to do something special for? Fina Flowers loves being able to bring a smile to their face with a creative floral arrangement delivered to their door. Fina Flowers is an award-winning florist that has been in business for over 32 years. To order your smile, call Fina Flowers at 425-825-8181 or visit their website, finaflowers.com. Again, that number is 425-825-8181 or their website, Fina Flowers, that's F-E-N-A, flowers.com. We can use more smiles in this world.
Do you sometimes feel like life is too much and you're living in a constant state of overwhelm? Is stress causing pain in your body and anxiety in your mind? If your answer is yes, well, you're not alone. With so many stressors in today's world, most people are stuck in a constant state of fight or flight. This creates tension in the body, impacts your relationships, decreases productivity, and even diminishes your joy. At Way of Life Wellness Center, They use network chiropractic care to help free patients from survival mode and get back into thrival mode. Their techniques increase body connection, improve flexibility, and reduce pain, stress, and tension. Through this gentle chiropractic technique, they help you unwind and release stored tension and trauma. To learn more about Way of Life Wellness Center or Network Chiropractic Care, visit wayoflifewellness.com or call 425-313-0433. They look forward to helping you live the vibrant and healthy life you deserve to be living now.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, August 28th virtual show. Because of COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually. You can also catch us on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
It is a great day to talk about money, and that's what the show is all about: how to make money, save money, so you can have a better quality of life for you and your family. If you are hearing our show at a different day or time, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We're here to answer any questions or connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. In studio right now, our panel conversation with Bruce Hudson of Hudson Portrait Design and Dipti Sharma of IY Technology LLC right here at 1150 AM KKNW. Welcome, Bruce and Dipti, to the show. Thanks for joining us. So let me just share a little bit about Bruce. Bruce Hudson, master photographer, educator, and author, has led a colorful life. As a professional trumpet player and music educator, he had the opportunity to play with such greats as Bob Hope and Kenny G. Oh my gosh, Kenny G is one of my favorites. I listen to his Christmas CD every single Christmas, all the way past New Year's. Bruce is a 38-year veteran image creator. He's photographed presidents, governors, as well as prominent celebrities, sports legends, and their families all over the world. Bruce holds a Master Craftsman degree from the Professional Photographers of America. And today he and his son Josh teach together, much like Bruce did with his late wife Sue, who passed away in 1996. Bruce loves to travel and spend time with his family, which now include 5 grandkids. Life is all about relationships. In fact, Bruce wrote a book on the subject called The Relationship Grapher 2.0. So welcome again, Bruce, to the show. And I want to share a little bit about Dipti as well, who's going to be part of our panel conversation and interviewed today. Dipti is founder of IY Technology, a web and app development team. Born in India, she is the first woman in her community to receive a degree in computer science and inspires other girls from her town to do the same and follow their passions. Her company specializes in building clean websites that are search engine optimized, with the emphasis on geolocation and organically ranking across the first page of Google. She started IY Technology after she released the lack of technical computing and designing skills among entrepreneurs and small businesses. She saw a need to serve those who experience technology barriers, of focusing on helping entrepreneurs and small businesses overcome their fear and frustration with technology.
So, Bruce, we're going to start out with you. I was talking about expansion and then, unfortunately, contraction this week of businesses. Obviously, it's an interesting environment that we are with COVID and how it's affected small businesses, big businesses. It's affected us all. So I'd love to get your feedback on how COVID has affected your business.
Yeah, we obviously have a lot less clients. People aren't thinking of doing family portraits. For high school seniors, it's kind of sad because, they're missing their proms, their senior trips. graduation, all that kind of stuff. But we still are doing senior portraits, and it's so to answer your question, it's mainly there's a lot less clientele out there, so we've had to pivot a lot and try to create some new products and new online classes. I teach here out of the studio in Tukwila. We have photo workshops that we do where we would have anywhere from 25 to 30 people at a time. And so we were able to take that course and make it an online course. So we have done some pivoting throughout the virus here, and with we're a work in progress. We're still working through it.
I love how you find a solution in all of that, and you pivoted with your business to find a whole new avenue that maybe you wouldn't have before without COVID. So that's really cool that you're doing that. What about you, Dipti? How's this whole COVID affected your business?
In COVID situations, I can say like my communications is improved better than before, because I'm an impersonal person, like where I'm talk to the people and know more about their businesses, and then I consult them regarding how should I will build their website. So after COVID, I'm struggled with my communication, because when I talking over the phone or over the Zoom, my pronunciation are not good. Sometimes people confuse. So, and where do I do the networking, right? Because there is no place, just the virtual networking. If I go looking for a platform, there is no other platform for the online virtual meetings. So in this COVID situation, my businesses grow because I figured out how to do the things. I gave the same experience over the Zoom as I gave to the in-person meeting. So that improved my vulnerability. And then I'm working on a product that is called online virtual meeting. So there people find out more, where all other networking events are going on. So if you would like to find out, I create a Facebook group, name is Online Virtual Meet. So you can post about your webinars or your Tina show as well. So it will be like very, so I learned a lot, and still I'm learning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're pivoting very well in what's happening in these times. So Bruce, let's talk about what you see for your business that you're going to be doing differently, maybe some things that came up during COVID that you're going to keep, or things that you're changing because of everything that we're experiencing now. So when we get back to whatever the new norm is going to be, what is that going to look like for you?
Well, I think we do a really good job at customer service and following up and following through with our clients. But because there's less clients out there, we hold every client, that much more precious. And so when people contact us, we're very attentive to get back to them sooner. When clients come in for personal consultations, we tend to let them control the narrative as far as masks or no masks, that kind of thing. We do a lot more follow up. I'm good at writing handwritten thank you notes and things like that. But I'm definitely, like I said, I treat every client like a piece of gold now, because they are fewer and far between. So I'm really lucky because we have, like you mentioned, 38 years of clients behind us. We're really good at keeping in touch with them. And I think one thing that we're letting people do through social media and the e-newsletters, the newsletters that we're sending out, is letting people know that we are still up and going. We are still running, and we're out there. We're working hard every day to work for our clients.
Yeah, and it's so true that all of us are coming from a place of appreciation, no matter what space that we're in our businesses. And it's a little bit different than with Keelan and myself in the mortgage industry, because everybody knows mortgages is up and running. But for businesses that there might be a question, yes, that would be an important part of the process. So Dipti, what about you? What do you see coming out of this, and what your business is going to look like that might be a little bit different than it was before?
Yeah, definitely. Because before that, I can say like every week we have a 5 or 6 days, and every day I need to be go to the in-person meeting. So now I have opportunity because everyone in this stage after COVID-19 and in COVID-19 as well, they are familiar with the Zoom and video conference meetings. So in like first meeting I can do with them personally, but after that, how the process going with the website development, I can do with them on the Zoom meeting, and there will be no communication gap because most of the time we struggle with the communication gap. There should not be a communication gap when you're working with your clients and how they what kind of expectations they have. So now I can meet with these expectations over the Zoom with the video conference online meetings. So that definitely changed the things, and I can do I can say I can serve more people after that COVID-19.
Yeah, and I think that the
Yeah,
majority of people, they have a different, sorry, Keelan, the majority of people, they're going to be coming in and having a lot more time in life because everybody is used to the virtual meetings. So a lot of people are going to be transitioning or at least always offering the virtual as a solution. So, yeah.
You actually took the words out of my mouth, Tina. I was going to say the exact same thing. You pulled it right out of my brain. So you spoke for me there. I love it. What about, let's go back to you, Bruce. So new skills, and this doesn't have to be like COVID related, because I love this question because people have come up with new hobbies. People have done new things, like they've been forced to do new things because of COVID. So maybe it is business, maybe it's not business related. What new skills have you gained from COVID, do you think?
Well, I think that one thing is more patience. I think I come from a place that's got some pretty good patience because I was a high school band director. And when you're working with 250 kids on a marching band field with flags and rifles and stuff, and you're trying to direct them, so I do come from a place of patience, but I think even more so just to kind of maybe settle down a little bit. I tend to be very proactive with pretty much everything I do. And so try to just chill a little bit more when things aren't going the way that you want them to go. I think from a personal note, I was able to have a little bit more time on my hands to work on me. And since January, I've lost 50 pounds. And I think part of that was being able to, spend more time on me. So I don't know if that's a skill, but I'm feeling really good right now and ready to move on once all of this goes away.
That's incredible. 50 pounds is a ton of weight. Then that's really hard to do. I can't even lose 15. I'm trying my best, but we'll have to talk later and figure out your secrets here.
Okay.
Yeah, and especially in this environment, right? I mean, the majority of people are gaining, not losing in this time.
Right.
Yeah, the COVID-15, right? Ditzy, we're about out of time, so we got a quick one from you, a new skill before we go to our next segment.
I can say like discipline, because sometimes we have to force to discipline, but these situations are where like if you're disciplined, you can do anything. And because of discipline, I start working on the product's online version. So
nice. Yeah, that is so awesome. All right. Well, thanks you guys for participating in our panel conversation. And coming up next on the Money Hour, the importance of your first impression. Bruce Hudson of Hudson Portrait Design, right here at 11:50 a.m. KKNW.
GFS Events is an award-winning event management company that produces successful fundraisers for nonprofits. GFS Events manages auctions, galas, fundraising, breakfasts, lunches, and dinners, 5K walks, runs, and golf tournaments. GFS Events can help your nonprofit raise more money than you thought possible. Contact them for a complimentary 30-minute consultation on your event to see how GFS Events can help you get to your fundraising goal. Find them on the web at gfsevents.org or via their Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn channels.
Do you suffer from razor burn from shaving? Does your skin become red, angry, and bumpy from hot wax? If so, sugaring hair removal is the solution for you. Sugaring is an all-natural method of hair removal consisting of sugar, water, and lemon juice. The paste is applied against the hair growth and removed in the direction of hair growth, which prevents breakage from happening, as well as ingrown hairs. Results last longer, and it's more gentle on the skin, too. Come get your sugar on at Sweet Bee Hair and Skin Lounge, located in Issaquah. Schedule an appointment at 425-369-4167.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host, Tina Mitchell, and co-host, Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts, Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
You are listening to The Money Hour on 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, August 28th virtual show. Because of COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually. You can also listen to us on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are here to help you build a strong financial blueprint 1 week and one show at a time. If you are listening to our show at a different time or day, you are listening to a rebroadcast. We're here to connect you with the guests that we have on the show. Please call the show at 1-855-400-1150. Again, that's 1-855-400-1150 or online at themoneyhour.com. And in studio right now, Bruce Hudson of Hudson Portrait Design, the importance of your first impression right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
So, Bruce, I love this topic, and I want to get your feedback on this, and it is so important. Why, in your opinion, is it so important to have such a great first impression?
Well, I think in business, people will tend to trust their eyes more than the words that you have out there. And even, in this environment where people are going to be going to the websites, are going to be Googling you rather than more in-person kind of conversations, it's even more important to put your best foot forward and have that photograph that's really going to depict who you are and that type of thing. And it's kind of funny because Tina, I've never met you. I saw you at the station when we had our weekly radio show. And seeing your picture and then meeting you for the first time, it was like, it matches. And so whoever photographed you did a really good job, I think, of capturing the essence of who you are. And I think that's really important with any kind of business, is to not only the headshot or the image of you, but what you do and how you convey that message. I think a lot of times people, and we work with a lot of doctors and dentists and chiropractors. And if you go to most of those websites, well, even, loan people like yourself, they're using stock images. And it's just, it's not the real people. It's like stock looking people. Why is that bad? Well, number one, it doesn't really give a unique perspective or a honest perspective to what they're doing. But number two, the SEO is going to be really bad with those stock images, because for so many of those stock images, they might be on 100 or 200 or 1,000 different websites out there. And Google sees that, and Google doesn't like that. So it's always better to have your unique images.
Yeah, and people connect to getting to know you, have that opportunity before they have a chance to meet you. And without a picture, and a great picture, and thank you for the shout out there for me, Bruce. So let's talk about the quality of the picture and how important the actual quality of that image is.
Yeah, and it's one thing, because in this industry, it's really been bombarded with a lot of changes the past 15 years with digital, and being able to take a picture and get instant feedback and look at it. So a lot of people have come into the profession, and then with cell phone pictures, that kind of thing. Everybody and their brother's a photographer now, but there are some tricks that make people look better. And one of them is a higher camera angle. Another one is, more flattering lighting. Another is retouching. I'm able to probably capture about 90% of the image in the camera, and it takes very little retouching to enhance that image. But photography is one of those things that you definitely get what you pay for. And so when the whole digital thing started, a lot of businesses decided to have, Mary in accounting take the pictures because she kind of likes photography. And I think, around the time of the crash in 2008, 2009, a lot of businesses did that. And then they found that, well, maybe the quality of images is the reason why we're not getting the quality or the number of clients that we used to get with a professional doing that. So yeah, money, unfortunately in my business, you get what you pay for. You really do.
Yeah, and it's really important to have a great photographer that knows exactly what they're doing. My book cover for Journey with Me, which is based on my personal journey in life and how I got to my personal and professional core practices. So there is pictures of me on the book because it's my story. And Victoria actually did some touch-ups from the professional photographer. This is before I knew you, Bruce, or I would have given you a call. It was a really foggy day out there, but the sun was coming through. So, and I was on a railroad track, and my eyes were just all like not the best. And so Victoria literally took a picture of my eyes in my office like this, because that's where the picture was. And she took my own eyes and put them on the actual photo. And so being able to make those adjustments as need be is really important.
Yeah, just a little, head turn here, tilt that. I mean, the body language is something that most people don't really realize, but just a little tweak and you can really, help convey the message that you're trying to get there.
Let me ask you, Bruce, there's, I see often professionals, they'll get like one set of the professional, like headshots or whatever, professional pictures done often early in their career. And they use that forever. And then you meet them and you're like, who the heck is this person? Like nowhere near the same. And, and they might be a lot more successful. They might be a whole different person. We grow as human beings. So how important is it, do you think, in your opinion, to update your image?
Yeah, I have some realtors that, religiously every year they update their headshot, and most people don't do that. And I have to admit, I used a headshot for maybe 8 years. The last time I was down in weight and I was waiting to that major weight loss. And, about a month ago, I had a whole new set taken because I felt a lot better about myself and I thought I looked a lot better. So I'm the worst. I'm just as vain as everybody else, type of thing. But we encourage people to do it, every couple of years. And I think the clients that you're trying to attract, if they see your headshot and then they come and they see you in real life and then they see that, and I forget the term in the dating world, what they call that, catfishing or something.
There you go.
Is that okay? So yeah, I would recommend every couple of years.
Yeah, you want to look like your authentic self for sure. So Bruce, let's talk about where you get your photo taken, in studio or what type of location. What do you advise and do with your clients?
It really depends on what you do in the environment that you're in. With realtors, some of them want more of a traditional in-studio headshot. The trends that we're seeing are more doing it more out in the environment. So like when we photograph doctors, it's not a clinical background, but definitely it's not an in-studio type of thing. Lawyers traditionally would always have an in-studio type of portrait, and that's kind of changing. As they're trying to change their image, they're going to more of an office kind of shoot or shot with a lot more light. So they're using a lot more window light, that type of thing. So it really depends on the business. And that's one thing we always meet with our clients ahead of time and try to discuss all these things. And not just from a photography perspective, but from a marketing perspective, because, with the experience that we've had all these years, yeah, I can take some amazing photographs of my clients, but I want to know the why. Why are we doing this? What's the message you want to convey? And the setting, Tina, really does make a difference with that. You're right.
Makes total sense. They're trying to get connected.
Yep.
Yeah, you said something interesting before. We start with our eyes, but another piece of that is, right, we intake a lot of information with our eyes too, and you can intake a lot of information from an image. So I really like that, because when you see something like that, then it tells you it's kind of a story about the person. So it says a lot about you, Bruce, and how you're controlling that narrative for that person. And going back to that first impression thing, this is what you see of this person and, what you want to convey. So I heard something about lifestyle photography. What is that all about, Bruce?
Well, that's kind of what I was saying before, is that, if we're photographing a dentist, let's do it in the offertory. Let's show the lifestyle around her. When it comes to my family portraits or high school senior portraits, like the senior portraits I did yesterday of one of my clients, I've worked with this family for 30 plus years. And this is the second or third senior, I think, that we did. And so in the consultation, we talk about, what do you like to do? What are you known for? If you look back 20, 25 years from now and we see these photographs, what's it going to say about you? So yesterday we started at Gasworks Park, and then we went up to Cary Park on Queen Anne Hill, and then we went to Pike Place, and then we went to Alki. And so we really showed the lifestyle of this high school senior, with his guitar, with his dog, with more of an urban look, with City of Seattle in the background. And Mount Rainier was out yesterday. It was amazing up there on Capitol Hill. So that's kind of what I mean by lifestyle. If it's a realtor, we might take them in the neighborhood where they're farming, their clients, that type of thing. So you can put the lifestyle and the photograph together to help tell that story.
Yeah, story is so important now, and we know that, and people are really leveling up that story process. So why would not your images also be a part of that story? So Bruce, we have just about a minute left, and I would love to ask you a question, and then you can leave any share that you'd like to with our listeners. When finding the best photographer, what are you looking for?
Well, I think somebody that's willing to take the time to sit down and talk with you. If somebody just says, hey, let's meet here and I'll take your picture, they might be a little bit less expensive or a lot less expensive, but you want somebody that's really going to listen to you and find out, the why of the photograph. And to me, that's really, really important to sit down. And it's one reason why we've been in business for 38 years. I listen to my clients, and they convey to me what they're looking for. And like I mentioned, it's all about relationships. And the title of the book actually was The Relationographer. And it talks about the power of relationships and stories, not just about our last 38 years, but also other businesses that use the power of relationship and relationship marketing to build their business.
That is great, Bruce. And final say to the listeners that you'd like to share as we wrap up your time here.
Well, if you want to get a hold of us, you can go to hudsonportraits.com. That's our main studio website. Or you can email me at bruce@hudsonportraits.com. Our commercial photography, more business photography type website is or hudsonscommercial.com. And if you want to learn more about photography, go to hudsonphotoworkshops.com.
Wonderful, Bruce. Thank you so much for joining us in studio. I know you have your podcast, you had a radio show, so it's great to have kindred spirits right here on our show. Really appreciate your expertise and everything that you're doing for our community and making sure that they look their best, they're telling their story through their photo. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Coming up next on the Money Hour, how to make your website valuable. Dipti Shamara of IY Technology LLC right here in 1150 AM at KKNW.
Hey, here's a few questions for you to consider. Have you run out of storage space in your kitchen? Are you frustrated not knowing what's in the back of your deep cabinets or pantry? Want to revamp your kitchen but not spend a fortune on a messy or costly remodel? Are you tired of getting on your hands and knees every time you prepare a meal? Getting back up is always the hard part, right? Well, Shelf Genie of Seattle helps homeowners to transform their kitchen by retrofitting their existing cabinets and pantry with custom pull-out shelving. Through proper design and installation, Shelf Genie can provide easier access to the back of deep spaces, better organization, and increased usable storage space, all within the cabinets you already have, which saves you both time and money. Shelf Genie of Seattle has helped thousands of homeowners for the past 10 years, from Olympia to Linden, and they provide a top-quality product with superior service backed by a lifetime warranty. Shelf Genie of Seattle has a 5-star rating on Google Reviews, where you can see glowing testimonials from real clients.
Hi, I'm Alan Regala, the Director of Client Happiness with Shelf Genie of Seattle. We live to bring more joy into your everyday life at home. Call us today to schedule a free professional design consultation at 206-557-4630 or visit us at shelfgenie.com/Seattle. Again, that's 206-557-4630 or visit us at shelfgenie.com/Seattle. Make sure to mention the Money Hour and receive 50% off your installation.
You're listening to The Money Hour with your host Tina Mitchell and co-host Keelan Harvey on Alternative Talk AM 1150. Now, back to the show with local mortgage experts Tina Mitchell and Keelan Harvey.
And you are listening to the Money Hour at 1150 AM KKNW, the Friday, August 28th virtual show. Because of COVID-19, our show is temporarily moved virtually. You can catch us on podcast or on air on Saturday at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast on Sunday at 8 a.m. I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We bring in studio each week the best of the best experts in our local market on everything regarding your money. We're here to help you in today's economy. And now in studio, we have Dipti Sharma of IY Technology LLC, how to make your website valuable, right here on 1150 AM KKNW. Dipti, welcome again to studio. We're excited to have a conversation with you here today.
Hey, Tina.
Well, Dipti, let's talk about, I'd imagine a website would be similar to a picture, right? And it's probably pretty important for you to understand a business before you create a website. Can you tell us why that's important for you and give us your feedback on that a little bit?
Understand the business is very important because every business have their unique values, their unique service type, and their unique identity, their unique customers. So if you do not understand the businesses, you are not give the right picture on the website that they actually serve. So whenever I work on the website, even in if you see on the broader side, all the services looks the same. Okay, they are doing the same thing that other people are doing, but there are huge difference. So every time, whenever you're working with a website person or you're working on the website, make sure they understand your business correctly.
Yeah, and Dipti, let's talk a little bit about your clients' experience and their journey when they're coming to your site and the importance of that to really be able to capture them into the message that you're trying to share.
Yeah, so whenever you come to your website, they always need some kind of information. It can be anything. If they are on a news channel, they need some kind of latest information. If they are on the e-commerce website, they are looking for the products they are looking for. And if they are some kind of services, they are looking for a services they want to. So whenever you're working with a website, make sure you deliver the same message that according to the users. And when users come to your website, it is smooth transitions, what they're looking for. And in that way, you are easily convert your user, you can provide a good experience. At the same time, maybe they will be your future clients. So it's always make sure your website have a smooth and clear message.
Yeah, and it's important that you have something, you know exactly that one thing that you want them to do, and that one thing you want them to do needs to be front and center, every page and everywhere. So there's no thought process of what do I need to do? Oh, this is what I have to do. Yes.
Right, because sometimes you go to the website, it is very confusing and you just get back. So it is very important as a user journey.
You know, Dipti, I've had that happen before. You go to a website and I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do next, right? It's a plan of action. So for you, what is the most important component of a website for your customers?
There are lots of components for the website, but I will suggest the 5 component, whether they are small, starter, or a big companies. They always make sure they have a clear phone number, because sometimes people want to call you and you don't have that number in front of the user's eyes. The second important thing is clear message. Most of the time, people don't have clear message on their website, what they do, and they're just trying to confuse. So make sure you have a clear message on your website. The third thing is about action button, call to action button. So if you don't have a right call to action button, they will just move back, because, for example, do you want to expect your visitor they will call you, or they will fill a service about the service that you're serving? But if you do not have a right action button, they will not click, and they will just roam around the website confused and go back. Then the last
Yes. Oh, go ahead, Dipti. Sorry.
And then, as Bruce say, like photography. Photography is like give a visually appealing to the website, and if your photography is matched with your vision, with your clear messaging, and give a look, okay, what you are serving and for whom you are serving. So photography is like you can say the soul of the website. Photography,
that's
content.
That's why it's perfect to have both of you here, because as we've talked with Bruce, your photo and your image and the story that tells, it must match the verbiage that you're putting on that website, and they both have to be a high level of professionalism to draw people in. Otherwise, and I always say, if we're not being our best in all of our areas of marketing, we're being a disservice to the people that we know need us to serve them. And that's very sad for the people that are out there that need us, right? So Dipti, let's talk about how you know that your website is functional.
Sometimes you feel like when you go to the website, sometimes buttons are not clicking, right? For example, you're trying to call from the phone and it is not going because it is static. So, or you're filling up forms and they are accepting the invalid characters. Or you're trying to filling a form, but sometimes it is giving an error when you're submitting the forms. So make sure these small things, but it is very important. If it is not going to the right person, for example, customer filling a form on your website, but it is not going to the right person. So you will not get back to the person like the right response. So these functionalities looks very, very small, but it can impact your customer experience and at the same time trust, and other side is all over your revenue because you are not able to
first impression can be lasting impression.
Right. So how you serve on your website, so when they meet in person, so they will not feel the same thing, like you're not manage the things proper, like. So that's why functionality is like very important on your website.
Well, I can't even talk right now. I help to tell you, I hate to tell you, Dipti, time is already out. Unfortunately, we're down to 1 minute and we're wrapping up our show already. This time flies, I know. So I want to leave you with the ground here for a couple things. One, why is your digital presence more important than ever? And secondly, what's a good way people can get a hold of you?
Digital marketing, like in COVID-19 situation, we see like everything is closed and people are going to the internet. And when they are going to the internet, first thing they see Google reviews or any review, whether it is a product, whether it is a service, or they have a digital presence or not, because people don't know who you are and where you are, and they need services. So your friends definitely need, and best to know more about or consulting regarding your business, I always give the free consulting. So you can consult me. You can contact me on 609-994-7318. It is my phone number. Or you can go to my website. It's iytechnology.com. And you can send me a message through the forms. Or you can contact me through my email ID. It's deepti@iytechnology.com. My first name is DIPTI. So you can contact me.
Wonderful. And you can always reach out to the show as well, and we'll get you hooked up with our amazing guests. We'd like to take an opportunity to thank both of you again for being here today. It was a pleasure to have a conversation about not just your business, but your passion. And that's why both of you invited, because you're the best of the best in your space. And it takes a lot of passion to be experts like the two of you are. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tina and Kellen. It's nice to talk to you.
You're welcome. And I am your host, Tina Mitchell.
And I'm your co-host, Keelan Harvey.
We are your local mortgage experts, and sad to say, we're signing off today. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. We look forward to talking more money with you next weekend right here on 1150 AM KKNW.
Tina Mitchell, MLO 145420, and Keelan Harvey, MLO 1330075, are licensed loan originators with Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, NMLS 134871. The views expressed by the speakers on the preceding program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views of Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited, nor are they necessarily endorsed by Highlands Residential Mortgage Limited.